Hey, sounds like a great title for a horror movie.
Welcome back to Glen's Reviews for Mistress Theater, where we talk about anything that's horror-related, but mostly nerdy shit. And if you couldn't tell by now, I mean, you probably could. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. I love cartoons. Animated features. To sound more mature, since we're all adults here, am I right? Talked about Ghostbusters plenty of times on this show, even though I haven't reviewed the movies which those cartoons were based off of. But there's also another beloved children's cartoon from the 80s that I grew up with that played a huge factor in my life that I've always loved, even up until adulthood. And that would be
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
I already know what you're yelling behind your flat screen or your monitor or whatever you're watching me on. Glenn, you fucking idiot. What does that corny old show have to do with horror? This is a horror show, am I right? Well, dear viewer, every cartoon, from Looney Tunes to Batman to SpongeBob to Transformers, and everything in between, have dipped their little hands in the horror honeypot at some point. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were no different. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles began as a dark, gritty comic book that was somewhat of a parody of other comic books like Daredevil, and released in May of 1984 by creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, after the two started Mirage Studios in their very own apartment with just a tax return and some borrowed cash from Eastman's uncle. The story goes a rat named Splinter discovers the four turtles after they were dropped down a sewer drain where Splinter resided, and all five of them become anthropomorphic after being exposed to a mysterious ooze called mutagen. Splinter was the pet rat of a ninjutsu master named Tomato Yoshi and learned everything from watching him from his cage. After Yoshi, his wife, and Splinter moved to New York, Yoshi was then murdered by a man named Oroku Saki, who would later become the Shredder and leader of the Foot Clan. From here, Splinter would name his four reptilious sons. Yes, turtles are classified as reptiles, not amphibians. Go look it up. After four famous painters from the Renaissance era, from a book I guess he found in the sewer: Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. Splinter then trains the four in the art of ninjutsu to enact revenge upon the Shredder for the death of his master Yoshi. Now, for the sake of this narration, I am using clips from the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. That's the only movie to date that really follows the comic book as close as you possibly could follow it. In the beginning, there was little to differentiate between the four turtles besides their weapons, as they were originally designed all wearing red bandanas. That is until in 1987, when Fred Wolf Films made a proposal to Eastman and Laird they couldn't refuse, to make the Ninja Turtles a marketable and extremely successful franchise, in turn making a few changes, including multicolored bandanas, wrist, elbow, and knee pads, and belt buckles bearing the letter of their names, so we could all tell who our beloved heroes are. Now, everybody knew that adapting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into a children's cartoon, you obviously couldn't have revenge and death and murder and all that kind of good shit. So in the 1987 animated series, they tweaked the story a little bit. Oroku Saki and Amato Yoshi were actually in the Foot Clan together in Japan, and Saki disgraces Yoshi in front of their master, prompting Yoshi to flee to New York, and Yoshi himself becomes Splinter after coming in contact with the same mutagen. The bearer of the blue bandana, Leonardo, the brave, level-headed leader of the team and master of the dual katanas. Donatello dons the purple color, get it? Dons. Master of machines, tech geek of the four, and wielder of the bow staff. Raphael sports the classic red color and is the cocky loner smartass of the group, which is also deemed my favorite, as well as him being voiced by one of my favorite voice artists, Rob Paulson, who also wields the deadly garden utensils, the Sai. Finally, Michelangelo fashions the orange bandana as the carefree party animal of the team, with an insatiable love for pizza and professional nunchucker. Unless you're watching the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles from other various parts of the world.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
Censoring the word ninja in the title and replacing Mikey's nunchucks with a grappling hook, because ninjas and nunchucks are just too violent for kids outside the United States. Anyway, this formula of the four would remain pretty similar with each iteration and reboot of the Ninja Turtles throughout the years, and trust me, there were a lot of rehashes of the Ninja Turtles. Some actually really good.
Ninja Turtles.
While others were, well, pretty shit.
Oh,
For this review, we'll just be focusing on the original and still best animated version of the post-comic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the good old 1987 series, coming at a time when the real Ghostbusters are beginning to fizzle out and run their course, and all of us starving 80s, 90s kids needed something new and exciting to sink our fangs into. Aside from Splinter and the Turtles, we're also joined by the rest of the lovable and memorable cast of the show. We have April O'Neil, the headstrong, perky, and voluptuous reporter for Channel 6 News, that I'm sure left a lot of us young male viewers questioning why the fronts of our trousers grew a bit tighter whenever she'd appear on screen. April's nerdy and romantically hopeless friend Irma, who is around to make April look even hotter than she already is. We have Vernon, an irritating, whiny, somewhat effeminate douchebag that nobody gives a shit about. As far as the bad guys, we have Krang, the alien mutant brain thing from Dimension X who lives most of his life piloting an android body. Bebop and Rocksteady, two brain-dead mutant henchmen created by Krang and Shredder with the same mutagen that transforms Splitter and the Turtles. Bebop's a mutated warthog and Rocksteady is, of course, a rhinoceros. We have Baxter Stockman, a mad scientist who's responsible for a good deal of Shredder's maniacal inventions of turtle genocide, who in a later episode gets his gene spliced with a fly and turns into a mutant man-fly thing after Krang throws him into the disintegrator unit to try and kill him after he fails one too many times. And last but not least, Oroku Saki, the Shredder himself, leader of the Foot Clan, who in this series are all androids that are less capable than stormtroopers. If you couldn't have guessed, the Shredder is hellbent on world domination and ending the Turtles once and for all, and with every episode, the Turtles do whatever necessary to stop him. Classic hero-villain shit. I do have to mention Krang's giant armored subterranean station from Dimension X called the Technodrome, which looks menacing enough, but is ultimately a giant piece of shit. But damn, the thing is a character in its own right. Well, since this is the first ever review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon series, not just for Mistress Piece Theater, but also for my YouTube channel, I had to give you that little history lesson on the Ninja Turtles, even though by now, most people already know who the Ninja Turtles are and the characters because it's pretty much ingrained in our society. Since Turtle Mania pretty much exploded all over our faces back in 1987. I mean, they were everywhere, man. It was primarily merchandise. Toys, video games, sports items, sleeping bags, tents, foods, breakfast cereals. Anything you could possibly think of at any given moment right now, you could buy it with a turtle on it back in 1987. Even nowadays, actually. There was even a concert called the Coming Out of Their Shells Tour, which my dad took me to when I was just a youngin'. I got a tape right here of the making of that tour, where the Ninja Turtles fought Shredder with some songs they came up with. They fought Shredder with music. Don't make fun. It's a huge part of my childhood, and I still like that album and the concert. Go fuck yourself. There's dumber things out there. The episode I'm going to be reviewing tonight is one of my all-time favorite Ninja Turtles episodes called Case of the Killer Pizza. And all the footage that you're about to see in this video will be ripped directly from my childhood VHS, which is right here. And I'm sure my mom and dad are watching this right now just cringing and vomiting in terror, because I'm sure they were hoping that this tape perished due to the repeat viewings that I gave it as a child. I watched this thing like every fucking day. I'm surprised it held its own throughout the years. The episode begins with the standard Ninja Turtles cliche of Krang bitching at Shredder for being incapable of taking out the Ninja Turtles. Now, the Technodrome is still stuck in Dimension X, thanks to the Turtles sending it back in a prior season. And thanks to special plot devices like interdimensional Skype calls and doorways and all that kind of stuff, Shredder and Krang can communicate with each other from Dimension X to Earth and vice versa, and even send some things that Shredder needed and asked for in order to take out the Ninja Turtles. 3 little things in this episode that kind of looks like they would go delicious on a certain food item that the Ninja Turtles love.
These babies may look like meatballs, but once they hatch...
They're actually 3 little alien eggs, and they come with like 20 pages of instructions. 19 pages of different languages, only 1 in English. What a waste of fucking paper. Well, Baxter inquires to the Shredder about how the Ninja Turtles are actually gonna get these things, because that's the point, the Turtles gotta get the eggs so they can get killed, so Shredder can make Krang happy, But anyway, they run into Jimmy Olsen on the street, who's handing out brochures for a pizza raffle or some shit, which is really strange, but let's just go with it. There's gonna be plenty more questions where that came from. Shredder takes the brochures, scares the stuffed crust shit out of Jimmy Olsen. He goes running off, flushes the brochures down the sewers, because they'll make it to the Turtles, for sure. 100% sure they'll make it to the Ninja Turtles. Unless, of course, these brochures get intercepted by Pennywise. But they didn't! All the stars aligned, and the Ninja Turtles received these brochures after they were training their karate skills and ninjutsu skills against the wash machine. Don't question it. They use that at every karate class and ninjutsu class across America. The Ninja Turtles are incredibly excited by this news of the pizza raffle because there's free samples at this raffle as well, until Splinter kind of kills their buzz, because Splinter knows that cuts in paper can only mean one thing.
My intuition confirms my suspicions. This pattern of slash marks could only have been made by the prongs on Shredder's gauntlets.
Then the bake-off could be a trap.
Precisely.
This is a trap devised by Shredder. We then cut to April and Irma, who are unknowingly at the same pizza raffle that the Turtles are soon going to attend.
Wow, would the Turtles love this?
April, why don't you forget about those turtles and start thinking about real live men?
Shit, great question, Irma. Do you ever think it's because of the heat they're probably packing? I mean, have you ever seen the size of a turtle dick? It's like half the size of their fucking bodies, man. I mean, for April, that's probably the most she's ever been satisfied and fulfilled in her life. Literally, figuratively, and physically.
You mean like your last date with that accordion player?
Forget him. His mustache weighed more than his brain.
Irma, Dulce mia! It is I, Alfredo!
Oh no! It's him! It's Chow!
That Irma! We could make such beautiful music together.
I fucking love how ethnically sensitive that 80s cartoons and movies were back then. I mean, when I think about Italians, I think of Mr. Alfredo here. Well, the Turtles catch up with April and politely ask her to enter their names in the pizza raffle, because obviously they can't go up there on their own. Even though they never shied away from going outside by people in earlier episodes, even the first episode, but I guess it's because they had their hats and trench coats on. Completely hides the fact that they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I guess. Well, we get to see Baxter toss the alien eggs on the prize pizzas outside. The Ninja Turtles see Shredder go into the pizza parlor and they run after him, and there's a true corny Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brawl in the pizza parlor with everything you could come to expect. It's a food fight, pretty much.
Oh, I hate anchovies.
But while the guys were fighting, they failed to realize that the pizza boy had to take 2 of the pizzas off the table outside and fill an order elsewhere, and the owner of the place had to replace those pizzas with a couple new ones, meaning the eggs went somewhere else. You know, story aside, wouldn't you cook the pizzas after the winners were chosen in this raffle, so they're not sitting out getting cold and gross before the winner could actually take them and eat them? I mean, if logic was actually used, Shredder's plan probably couldn't have worked so far. This far. Well, somehow, some way, they asked Baxter Stockman to address the winners of the raffle and announce it and all that kind of shit. And I don't understand why. He's no one special, just a mad scientist. He's a known villain. The questions are going to pile up anyway. But anyway, Baxter is asked to announce the winners. So he does. He fudges the names.
Leonardo, Donatello, and Michelangelo.
And the Ninja Turtles win the pizzas. And they give April one of them as a thank you for entering their names in the raffle. And I bet you'll never guess which pizza April ends up getting. So Irma tosses the Alien Egg Supreme Pizza in the microwave, and this is where we see exactly what franchise the writers ripped off here.
Wow! Is this pizza heavy? What is this?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a
Wait, hang on here a second. I got more questions. Electromagnetic energy from the microwave made the aliens hatch, right? Was that part of Shredder's plan? Because if not, what if the turtles actually ate these things? Would they pop out of the Ninja Turtles' chest like the movies they're actually ripping off? What if the little meatball alien egg things digest in their stomach and the turtles just shit them out? Would the aliens turn into shit monsters? I mean, what exactly was the plan here?
Finally, we have the perfect weapon.
It begs the questions. I need some answers, man.
I guess this is as close as I'm ever gonna get to having a romantic dinner for 2.
Okay, as a man that never ever had good luck with women, on any level, I still don't, I can relate to Irma here. The depressing life of a hopeless romantic, when nobody will want you or love you the way that you deserve, if at all. and
the child version of me would just look past this and continue on with the story.
But I'm not a child. I'm an adult. I got a very sick, immature mind on me. And I came up with a great scene that could easily be inserted here that could bring joy to millions. So if you guys excuse me, I got a scene I gotta draw quick. Just give me a few seconds.
Oh, she's so hot I can feel my shell tightening.
I'm onto something big!
See, was I right or what? Told you guys I'd show you a good time.
I don't know if I can take much more of this.
Alright, let's go hit up the nearest bar. Let's go drink it till we can't feel feelings anymore.
Let's rock! Let's show them the turtles know how to party!
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to do this. I swear, the scenes I just came up with for this will have social media on fire with the hashtag trending, release the lens cut. A case of the killer pizzas for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Alright, I've had my fun. Let's continue on with the review. Well, instead of calling the police or the Center for Disease Control or whatever, anybody else, April decides to call the Turtles to help her out with this little creature problem. The guys come rolling up into April's apartment.
Okay, where's this killer pizza?
Permanently subdue the little shit by rolling it up in a rug.
Playtime's over, hot stuff!
Or so they thought, as it can melt through shit, I guess.
The rug's burning.
Where'd he go?
Looks like he got clean away. How come we didn't get any monsters with our pizzas?
This is when April finds out that the delivery boy actually took 2 of the other pizzas somewhere else. So the guys haul ass to intercept the pizza boy in their blimpin' glider. A blimpin' glider? I mean, aren't these guys supposed to be ninjas? You know, practice the art of invisibility, you know, hide in the shadows, be inconspicuous, all that kind of good shit. Riding around in a big fucking blimp with your name and logo on the side of it doesn't really scream discreet or subtle or inconspicuous or invisible for that matter. But the toy was cool and it was meant to sell toys, you know. That was the whole point of the show, so I guess it's one of the other things we kind of have to roll with. Well, April really needs the story, so her and that effeminate idiot Vernon follow this super awesome ninja blimp to a penthouse where the pizzas are delivered to a couple of bratty kids.
Wait, kids! Don't open those boxes!
Who say this?
Why should we listen to you? You're nothing but a bunch of turtles. And that's even lower than babysitters.
What a couple of little assholes, lower than babysitters. I would have killed to see that kind of shit at my age. Walking, talking Ninja Turtles. Man, if I was the Ninja Turtles, I'd let them little shits deal with the pizza monsters on their own. If you'll excuse me, I have yet another scene that I gotta make for hashtag release the lens cut. Give me 2 seconds.
We're sorry about the babysitter joke. Can you please help us?
Sucks to be you, man.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to warn you, but we're out of here now. See ya.
I'm just kidding. I don't condone child death. In most cases. The turtles chase away the 2 pizza monsters until they run and melt their way into the sewer. And then the one by Irma's place, which is still there, yet jumps down and gives her a slight vaginal flutter before it too melts its way into the same sewer system as the other 2 pizza monsters. And somehow the sewer's located through this dryer in the laundry area of Irma's apartment building. And instead of, you know, calling the police or maybe doing nothing at all and just going to bed, Irma follows the pizza monster through her dryer and into the sewer. Well, soon after, April and Vernon stop back at Irma's place for some unspecified reason, but I'm sure it's just to check up on her to see if she's okay. But Irma, of course, went down into the sewer, so April and Vernon follow the little guy's footsteps through the dryer back into the sewer. And this is where we get to see the other movie that the writers ripped off for this episode of the Ninja Turtles. And when the pizza monsters go into water, they become supersized. Kind of like the Mogwai, when they get hit with water, they reproduce. I wonder what would happen to the pizza monsters if you fed them after midnight. Would they go like full alien xenomorph and shit, or would they turn into this? Either way, I see it as a plus. Eventually, they finally catch up with Irma.
Don't worry. Now that we're all together, there's nothing to be frightened of.
Of course, nothing at all to be frightened of. At all. Because they're all together. Eventually, the Turtles catch up with Baxter and Shredder, and then we get some insight on the biology of the pizza monsters.
According to the instructions, turning this knob should summon the creatures.
And by activating this switch, we can send them against the turtles.
What? What the fuck? How the fuck does that work? Is the control like a dog whistle or something? Are these things fucking Bluetooth enabled? Like, what is this? I know. I need to stop questioning an 80s children's cartoon that featured walking, talking bipedal Ninja Turtles and a talking brain in a robot suit. I mean, in this scenario, everything makes sense. Baxter and Shredder sick the pizza monsters on the Ninja Turtles, and the Turtles end up fighting the monsters. Kind of, I guess. That's when Donatello bashes the control, and the only way to get the monsters under control, right out of Baxter's hand and into the sewage shitwater.
Mega move, Donatello!
Donatello's supposed to be the intelligent one of the group, too. When you got the party animal of the group calling you out for being an idiot, you know you fucked up. We get a quick scene of April, Vernon, and Irma to remind us that they're still in this episode.
That Irma. You just can't take her anywhere.
Oh, excuse me, like you're some fucking huge pleasure or help to be with? Give me a fucking break.
Must you be a backseat driver? I just hope this isn't another one of your wild turtle chases. You go ahead, I'll cover my rear. The rear.
Oh, Vernon! Hurry, Vernon! The creatures are getting away!
Oh dear, what a pity.
You want to go first, or should I?
Me? Do I look like I wear wash and wear suits?
Oh, hurry up, Vernon! We don't want to lose it!
Speak for yourself. How ridiculous, worrying about some harmless, furry little creature.
Ugh, Vernon is such an insufferable, flamboyant little bitch that I can't believe he got his own action figure that I'm sure line bargain aisles in stores all across America. Fucking hate that guy. You goddamn bitch. Ow! Now, back to the fight where the creatures are attacking both the Turtles and Shredder.
Hey, you guys, don't go. We wanna watch.
Wait, who the fuck is filming this so these guys can watch this shit happen? Did they place cameras like everywhere all over the world in the sewers just so they can watch this shit happen and play out? April did bring the camera guy with in the sewers. I didn't mention it, but he's there. But the thing is, he's just got a VHS tape camera. He doesn't have a broadcasting truck or anything like any live recording equipment. So how the fuck is this happening right now? There's no way anybody can be watching this shit from a live feed, especially them from Dimension X. Alright, I get it. If I question everything in this cartoon, we're gonna be here all day, so I'm gonna try to stop questioning shit and just move along. Well, Baxter and Shredder pull out the 30 pages of instructions for the pizza monsters and discover if they blast the creatures with a large burst of energy, large enough burst of energy, they'll revert back into being eggs. I want to question it, but we have to go with it. Well, everyone's scattered, but of course they'll all find each other again.
Are you alone?
I am now, thanks to Irma's fainting and Vernon's chickening out.
You just left Irma where she fainted with those bloodthirsty creatures running around trying to kill you guys. Are you fucking insane? Great fucking friend you are, April. Well, Michelangelo bravely jumps into that sewage shit water to look for the control that Donatello slapped in there, while the other turtles decide maybe it's a good idea to settle their differences with Shredder and join them. Just this one time, to get rid of the pizza monsters. Then they can hate each other again.
As Splinter says, sometimes one must make a pact with evil in order to accomplish good.
You know, I don't remember him saying that.
Well, he would have, if he'd ever thought about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I really do like Leonardo's line right here. It's good, especially playing off of Raph with what he has to say. Just classic Turtles right there. Well, the Turtles join Shredder for the fight, and before we see Michelangelo get the control for the pizza monsters, we get another great Leonardo line right here.
Guys, this could be the last sewer we'll ever get to enjoy.
At least we'll go down fighting with honor like real turtles.
Are turtles known, like, out in the wild, like out in the pond next to my place here, for going down fighting to the death with honor?
Personally, I'd rather go on living as a mock turtle.
You know, I don't care. I like the line, so we're just gonna go with it. Michelangelo finds the control, gets up to the surface, blasts the creatures, but it's kind of a short-lived victory. Actually, there's no victory at all at this point.
Way to go, Michelangelo! parts must have gotten wet.
No. Sorry, Mikey. I mean, you can still get batteries wet and they'll still work in whatever device you choose to put them in. I mean, as long as you're not letting the damn thing soak in water for about a week before you put them back in said device. And that control didn't look like it was sitting under the water very long. 5 minutes tops before you went and got it, Mikey. If anything, the circuit board inside the control probably got wet and shorted everything out, meaning Shredder and Krang's engineering and technical prowess isn't really up to par to make something like this in the first place. Probably should have made the damn thing waterproof, guys. Well, Leonardo gets an idea in his head, makes some sort of impossible jump over the pizza monsters, and recklessly and dangerously cuts some high voltage power lines, and they conveniently hit the pizza monsters, all three of them, and reverts them back to little alien shit eggs. Because somehow he remembered hearing Baxter and Shredder talking about that, even though I really didn't see him around. Shredder escapes, like he always does, and we're rewarded with a corny, jokey ending.
I just whipped together a Michelangelo special.
Oh no, not more meatballs.
Not to worry, April. These aren't the kind that turn into creatures. I got those right here. Or was it here? Oh no!
Why the fuck would you even be holding on to those goddamn things, especially in close vicinity of food that you were about to eat? Michelangelo, that makes your rip on Donatello earlier in the episode officially null and fucking void, man. You're officially the moron again. Okay, so what is my verdict on this episode? I might have the nostalgia goggles on for this one, but I gotta give it an A-.
Oh, rock dudes! We did it! We won! Cowabunga! Right!
This is a special one to me, okay? It might not be the best episode of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'll stand by what I'm about to say, is that the first season was definitely the strongest season of the cartoon series. But the pizza monsters are awesome. I love the rip-off Xenomorph from Aliens. It's cool to know that the writers were watching a lot of the same movies I watched growing up at that time period, and they were incorporating stuff like that into the television show. So the pizza monsters weren't popular enough to have their own figure back in the 1980s and 90s when I was growing up, but people started to catch on. They put them in one of the most popular games of all time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, for the Super NES. And NECA is actually making a Supreme Pizza Monster figure to go with their classic TMNT animated series line. Well, this was a fun episode to put together. I really enjoyed it. But this is all the time I have left for this episode of Glen's Reviews. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. And I love all of you. I will see you next time in whatever video that I end up putting out. Which I don't know what video that's going to be. But just stay tuned. We'll see you guys next time. Welcome back to Mistress Peace. Shit. I already fucked up. Welcome back to Glen's Reviews from Mistress Peace Theater, where we talk about anything that's for. Be a bitch. Just be a bitch.
Mundo Bizarro, dudes.
Right. Since this is the first ever. The episode begins with the standard Ninja Turtles cliche of. The episode's fucking hell.
Leonardo, look out for that cat! What's the cat doing up here?
Probably asking that same question about 4 turtles.
Thanks to special plot devices such as interdimensional doorways and...
But that's something that you would say, not me.
It's supposed to be ripping off a commercial from the 90s.
The child version of me would look past this and can... Oh, how do I wear this?
God damn it, I'm gonna fuck this up constantly. gonna be drunk by the end of this fucking review.
Cowabunga, a pizza truck! You know the world's really gone bizarro when pizzas bite you back.